All right, today we are diving headfirst into the pretty intense world of New York's Diamond District. We're going to unpack a wild story about how a business dispute over gold didn't just stay a dispute. Oh no, it spiraled into a full-on, caught-on-camera brawl that absolutely blew up online.
And it all kicked off with this one question. I mean, talk about a bombshell. This was screamed and broadcast live on social media, and it was the spark that lit the fuse between two rival jewelers. It turned what should have been a private issue into a massive, messy, public spectacle.
So, to really get what's going on here, you need to know who's who in this whole drama. Let's introduce the main characters at the heart of this thing.
Okay, so on one side we've got the accuser, Maksud Agadjani. He's the owner of a very well-known spot, TraxNYC. And on the other side, well, that's the accused. Two brothers, George and Freddie AKAY, from AKAY Diamonds. All of them are working in the same super competitive, high-stakes world right there on 47th Street.
Now, before any punches were thrown, you gotta understand, this whole thing was rooted in a really serious accusation of fraud. This wasn't just some personal beef. It was about the quality of the product, the gold itself. So here's the core of it, and it's pretty straightforward, but also a huge deal in that business. A customer supposedly paid AKAY Diamonds for a 14-karat gold bracelet, a pricey item. But according to Agadjani, when he tested it, it was actually 10-karat gold, which is way less valuable.
And listen, Agadjani didn't just paint this as a one-time screw-up. With this quote, he went public and basically declared it was a deliberate, ongoing scam, and he was claiming he just couldn't let it slide anymore.
This is where it all goes from a backroom issue to a global event. Instead of handling this quietly, Agadjani whips out his phone, hits that live button, and broadcasts the entire, raw, unfiltered argument for absolutely everyone to see.
And the potential audience for this thing was just staggering. We're not talking about a couple of people watching. We're talking about a public showdown performed for his 3.3 million Instagram followers. The stakes just went through the roof. And the live stream wasn't just a heated conversation. No, the footage reportedly shows Agadjani getting physical with the furniture, shaking the jewelry counter, slamming that bracelet down on the glass. The intensity was at a 10 right from the get-go.
Then the accusation got personal. It went beyond just the quality of the gold. Agadjani started accusing the AKAY brothers of using his business's good name, TraxNYC, telling customers their stuff was the same quality just to close a deal.
At this point, security gets involved. They're trying to de-escalate, trying to get things under control, and they finally manage to get a still yelling Agadjani out of the store. And for a split second, you might think, okay, maybe that's the end of it.
But no, not even close. Being escorted out was absolutely not the end of this story. Things were about to take a seriously violent turn.
And it all exploded so fast. So Agadjani's outside, and then a second video clip allegedly shows one of the AKAY brothers spitting right in his face. And that was it. That was the trigger that turned this shouting match into an all-out street fight.
What happened next was just pure chaos, right there on 47th Street. The fight was back on, but this time it was physical and explosive. Agadjani alleges that he was suddenly swarmed by a group of guys and just beaten down.
Then, from a bed in Bellevue Hospital, the story takes another really dark twist. Agadjani posts a video you can see these red marks on his neck, and he makes this incredibly serious claim that he was choked with his own heavy gold chain as payback for exposing them.
So, a public brawl like this, especially in the Diamond District, is obviously going to have some immediate real-world consequences. We're talking police, arrests, and a trip to the emergency room.
So here's the official breakdown of how that day ended. Maksud Agadjani was taken to the hospital for his injuries. Both George and Freddie AKAY were arrested and hit with assault charges, and another person involved was given a summons.
But here's the thing, this fight is nowhere near over. Even with the arrests, the whole conflict is still raging on two completely different battlefields. One is, of course, the New York legal system, and the other, that's the court of public opinion online, which is just as intense.
And that really leaves us with this huge, thought-provoking question. This whole thing started over the value of gold, right? But it brings up something much bigger for the age we live in. When a fight like this goes viral, who's the real judge? Is it the established legal system, or is it the instant and often ruthless verdict of the internet?